Hello everyone, on this video we'll be doing the number patterns based on the arithmetic sequence. So you first need to know what is the arithmetic sequence. So the arithmetic sequence is a sequence which has a common difference between the consecutive terms which is always constant, right? So we do have an equation, the general equation on this arithmetic sequence, which we will use to find every values which is asked on the question, right? So our general term or our general formula for this sequence is Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, so this is our equation. So on our equation, what the important things you should know about this equation, right? You first need to know that a stands for what, and then d stands for what, and then n stands for what, right? So our a stands for the first term of what? Of the sequence, right? And then our d stands for common difference, right? And then our n now stands for what? Our n stands for position of the term. Okay, good. So these three things are very important on this arithmetic sequence, right? So now what we will be looking at, we will see and we'll identify how we need to find the value of d, our common difference. So our common difference, for example, if we do have a, b, c, d, for instance, right? So our a is a t1, is a t2, t3, and then this is t4. So to get the common difference, which is represented by the letter d, so you need to do what? You need just to say t2 minus t1, and then t3 minus t2, and then t4 minus t3, right? So t2 minus t1 is equal to t3 minus t2, which is also equal to t4 minus what? Minus t3. So all of these things will give us the common difference, right, which is represented by the small letter d, right, on our equation. Okay, so now we can go on, right? So what we have now, we have an example there which says okay, 6, 13, 20. So this is our sequence which is given right now. So on our example, they didn't say if this is a arithmetic sequence or another sequence. So we need to identify on our own that is this one the arithmetic sequence or other sequence, right? So we first need to know that what you need to look for to identify if which sequence is this one, right? So if you do have a common difference which is constant, that means our sequence is an arithmetic sequence, right? So now 6 is our first term, T1, and then 13 is our second term, then 20 is our third term, right? So on this equation we need to find the difference. So to find the difference, we'll just say T2 minus T1 and then T3 minus T2 to get our difference. So here we'll just say 13 minus 6. So 13 minus 6 is going to give us 7. And then 20 minus 13 is going to give us 7 again. Right. So you know that D is 7 and A is what? A is 6. As you say that 6, or the first term, is represented by the small letter A, right, on our equation. So our first question on our example, right, says that find the nth term of what? Of the sequence. So to find our nth term, just need to write our original A plus times D. So our A there is 6, and then our D is 7, right? So now we can proceed. So Tn is equal to 6 plus into n minus 1 times what? Times 7, right? So to make our nth term to be in a smart way, so we just break that bracket. So 6 plus 7n minus 7, right? So our Tn is equal to 7n minus 1. This is our nth term, or our general formula for what? For this sequence. We have given that says 6, 13 and 20, right? So we have found our nth term. So we are going to look on the second question. So our second question says that calculate the 21st term of the sequence. So the 21st term, that 21st stands for what? Stands for the position, and you know on your equation that the position is represented by what? By a small letter n, right? So we just say Tn is equal to 7n minus 1. So our T21 is equal to 7 into 21. So you just substitute by 21 on n, right, minus 1. So our T21 now is going to give us 46. So it's 7 times 21 minus 1. So it's 146, right? So now this is our value, which is on our 21st term, right? So now we are going to look on our third question. So our third question says that determine the term in the sequence, which is 97, right? So you first need to know that as we are looking for what? We are looking for the value of n, or we are looking for a position of that 97. So that 97 surely is on our sequence, which is there. So we just need to find the position of that 97. So you know that if you are looking for a position, basically we are looking for the value of n in our equation. So on our term number, we'll just substitute by 97 is equal to 7n minus 1. Then we'll take that negative 1 to that side. So it's going to be 97 plus 1 is equal to 7n. And then this is going to give us 98 is equal to 7n. So before we find the value of n, what you should know. So before we find the value of n, what you should know is that the value of n cannot have or cannot be a decimal number. The value of n is going to be a whole number, just a whole number, and the value of n cannot be negative, right? So we'll see what we will find here. So already know that our answer, we're expecting that our answer should be a whole number. So if it is not a whole number, for example, it's a decimal number, that means our answer is wrong, right? So we just divide by 7 both sides, and then the value of n is equal to 14, right? So our value of n is equal to 14. That means that 97, which is on our sequence, is on T what? On T14, right? Since this 14 is a position, right? So you know that position are represented by T term numbers, yes. So now we've done our example, right? I hope there is no one who is confused based on what we've done so far. So now we are done with our example, right? So we will do another example on the next video. So please don't forget to subscribe on this one. Thank you.